As the combined Federation, human, and defected Zoltar forces prepared for their final operation, a sense of unity filled the ranks. Commander Olivia Harris and Captain Daniel Grant carefully laid out their final strategy, knowing that success in this last battle would mean lasting peace. Lieutenant Ethan Clark and Zara spent time preparing their teams, reinforcing trust and cooperation between former enemies and new friends. Ethan felt proud to see barriers falling away, replaced by mutual respect and teamwork. The final battle approached quickly. Federation ships, strengthened by human ingenuity and the valuable intelligence provided by Voss and the defected Zoltar, moved into position quietly. Ethan and Zara led their teams carefully, determined to play their parts perfectly. "Ready?" Ethan asked Zara softly, double-checking their preparations. "Ready," Zara answered firmly, her eyes filled with quiet determination. There, ships silently approached the Zoltar fleet, concealed by advanced cloaking technology. Ethan watched the massive enemy ships looming ahead, feeling tension build within him. "Steady, everyone," Ethan advised calmly. "We have one chance. Let's make it count." Captain Grant's voice came clearly through the comm system, calm and reassuring. "All teams, begin the operation." Human and Federation ships suddenly appeared on enemy sensors, moving swiftly into attack positions. Confusion spread rapidly among enemy forces, who had expected more time to prepare. Ethan and Zara's infiltration team quickly boarded the flagship. This time, they moved through the enemy ship swiftly, their training and teamwork evident in their silent coordination. Enemy resistance was fierce, but the combined forces' determination proved stronger. Ethan moved decisively, taking down enemy guards while Zara skillfully managed their defenses. "Control room ahead," Ethan whispered urgently. Zara nodded, her focus sharp and clear. They reached the control room quickly, breaking through the heavy security with precision. Zara began rapidly disabling enemy systems, hands flying expertly over controls. "Systems disabled," Zara reported tensely. "Enemy communication disrupted." "Good," Ethan responded firmly. "Let's finish this." The flagship began to tremble under explosions from outside. Federation and human ships pressed their advantage, systematically dismantling the enemy fleet's ability to resist. Inside the enemy ship, Ethan and Zara carefully guided their team back toward their escape vessels. Each step was fraught with danger, but their teamwork kept them strong and focused. At last, they reached their ships, quickly evacuating the damaged enemy vessel. As they pulled away, the enemy flagship exploded spectacularly behind them, signaling a decisive victory. "We did it!" Zara breathed, relief evident in her voice. Together, Ethan affirmed warmly. Back on the Federation flagship, celebrations erupted among crew members and soldiers. Commander Olivia Harris and Captain Daniel Grant shared quiet smiles. Deeply satisfied with their joint accomplishment, Voss approached them respectfully, gratitude clear in his expression. "Thank you," he said sincerely. "You've given my people a chance to reclaim their honor. Your courage to choose peace made this possible," Daniel responded sincerely. "This victory belongs to us all," Olivia added warmly, reinforcing their unity. Ethan and Zara watched from nearby, quietly sharing in the moment. Zara turned to Ethan thoughtfully, eyes reflecting deeply. "I never imagined this outcome when we first met," Zara admitted softly. Ethan smiled gently. "Neither did I, but I'm glad. We faced this together." Days passed, and peace negotiations began. The Federation, humans, and former enemy factions worked together closely, creating lasting agreements for future cooperation and friendship. Olivia Harris and Daniel Grant continued working closely, their bond stronger after shared battles and victories. They coordinated carefully, ensuring a fair and peaceful resolution for everyone involved. Ethan and Zara spent time aiding recovery efforts, helping rebuild and heal communities affected by war. They shared stories, laughter, and quiet moments of reflection, strengthening their friendship even further. During one quiet evening, Ethan and Zara walked together beneath the stars visible through the large observation windows of the Federation. Station. Peace seems real now, Zara reflected quietly. It is, Ethan agreed sincerely, and we'll protect it together. She smiled warmly, eyes filled with gratitude. I've learned much from you humans. Courage, trust, friendship. We learn from you too, Ethan replied honestly. Patience, understanding, wisdom. Their conversation was peaceful and reflective, a gentle reminder of all they'd accomplished, and the friendships formed out as time passed. Peace solidified, strengthened by trust and cooperation forged through shared hardship and victories. Ethan and Zara remained close friends, symbols of the unity now thriving between once divided worlds. Commander Olivia Harris and Captain Daniel Grant became leaders whose cooperation was respected galaxy-wide, their partnership an example of successful unity. In quiet moments, each of them remembered the struggles and sacrifices that led to peace, knowing that cooperation, trust, and friendship had truly changed the galaxy forever. With the successful strike on the Zoltar fleet, Federation morale soared higher than ever before. Commander Olivia Harris and Captain Daniel Grant carefully reviewed their victory, understanding it was a critical turning point, but both knew the fight was still ongoing. Ethan, Clark, and Zara took a brief moment to rest and recharge after their tense mission. They sat quietly in the Federation ship's observation lounge, looking at stars that glittered peacefully in the vast space around them. Strange, isn't it? Ethan said softly, leaning back and gazing thoughtfully at the endless space outside. Out there, it looks so peaceful. But we know it's filled with conflict. Zara nodded slowly. True, yet peace feels closer now, thanks to your people. Ethan smiled gently. Not just mine, yours too. Together, we've proven what we can achieve. Their quiet reflection was interrupted by an urgent message, summoning them back to the bridge. They exchanged quick glances, standing swiftly and heading out together. On the bridge, Olivia and Daniel waited, looking serious but confident. Olivia began without delay. New intelligence has arrived, she explained clearly. Some Zoltar factions are unhappy with the ongoing war. A group wishes to defect and join us. Surprise rippled through the gathered officers. Ethan frowned slightly, cautious yet intrigued. Are we certain of their sincerity? He asked carefully. As certain as we can be, Olivia replied firmly. But caution is essential. Captain Grant and I have decided to meet them. Ethan, Zara, you'll accompany us. Understood, Ethan replied promptly, sharing another quick glance with Zara. Soon after, a small diplomatic shuttle left the Federation flagship. Inside, Ethan and Zara prepared themselves mentally for this unusual meeting. Stay alert, Ethan reminded Zara gently. But let's hope for the best. Agreed, Zara replied softly. Trust is valuable, but must be earned. Their shuttle approached the meeting point, a neutral zone near a remote asteroid field. Moments later, a Zoltar shuttle emerged carefully from hiding. Both vessels docked smoothly, creating a sealed passageway between them. Daniel led the group confidently through the passage, followed closely by Olivia, Ethan, and Zara. Inside the meeting room aboard the Zoltar shuttle, a tense silence filled the space. Several Zoltar representatives waited, expressions wary yet hopeful. Their leader, a tall figure named Voss, stepped forward respectfully. Commander Harris, Captain Grant, Voss spoke calmly. We seek peace. Our leaders have become ruthless and aggressive. Many of us no longer support them. Olivia observed Voss carefully, sensing sincerity in his voice. Daniel remained watchful yet open-minded. Why defect now? Daniel questioned directly. Why trust us? Voss glanced briefly at his companions, then returned his gaze steadily to Daniel. Because we have seen your honor. Humans, especially, have shown courage and mercy in battle. You spared lives when you could have taken them. That is rare among our people. Daniel nodded slightly, understanding deeply. Olivia spoke clearly next, reinforcing trust. Our alliance values honor and fairness, Olivia assured firmly. We accept your defection, but you must prove loyalty through action. Voss nodded immediately. We understand. We will share crucial intelligence on our fleet movements and weaknesses. Ethan watched carefully, seeing the genuine intent in Voss's eyes. Zara, too, relaxed slightly, sensing truth in the Zoltar's words. This is a powerful moment, Zara whispered softly to Ethan, barely audible to the others. Indeed, Ethan replied quietly. Enemies turning into allies, it changes everything. The meeting concluded successfully. Voss promised valuable intelligence and cooperation. Federation and human representatives returned cautiously hopeful. Back on the Federation flagship, news spread quickly, boosting morale even further. Soldiers and crew members discussed the unexpected turn of events eagerly, feeling a true shift in the war's dynamics. Olivia and Daniel carefully integrated the new intelligence, adjusting strategies to use their newfound advantage. Trust grew slowly but steadily between the Federation, humans, and the defecting Zoltar. Days passed, and joint operations began. Ethan and Zara found themselves working closely with former enemies, now allies. Mutual respect and understanding grew rapidly. During one shared training session, Ethan observed the camaraderie forming between humans, Federation soldiers, and the defected Zoltar. This is how peace begins, Ethan remarked thoughtfully to Zara. Small steps, trust, and shared goals. Exactly, Zara agreed warmly. Perhaps, in the end, war is not won through weapons alone, but through understanding. Well said, Ethan replied sincerely. We might truly have a chance now. Their optimism was tempered by the continued presence of enemy factions unwilling to surrender. Still, hope flourished, driven by this new unity. Together, they began planning their next crucial operation, determined to bring lasting peace to the galaxy. After the victory, Federation and human forces took time to rest and repair their damaged ships. But Commander Olivia Harris knew the war was far from finished. She spent long hours analyzing the enemy's movements and planning their next steps. Captain Daniel Grant joined Olivia regularly, working closely to build strategies that combine Federation technology with human tactics. Their partnership became stronger each day, built on mutual respect and a shared commitment to victory. We must remain cautious, Olivia advised Daniel as they reviewed new intelligence. The Zoltar may have retreated, but they'll regroup and return. Daniel nodded seriously, his calm confidence never wavering. Agreed, but now we know their weaknesses. Next time, we'll be ready. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Ethan Clark and Zara spent their time assisting with repairs and training sessions. Their friendship had grown stronger after their mission, each learning more about the other's strengths and culture. During one training session, Zara observed human soldiers practicing rapid maneuvers. She turned thoughtfully to Ethan. Your methods seem risky, Zara commented, watching soldiers weave between obstacles swiftly. They are, Ethan admitted with a smile. But risk can mean reward if calculated carefully. Zara smiled gently, reflecting quietly. My people have always valued caution over boldness. Perhaps we've missed opportunities because of it. Balance is key, Ethan suggested kindly. Maybe Federation caution combined with human boldness is the perfect approach. Zara nodded slowly, clearly considering his words deeply. Ethan saw her understanding grow, appreciating the way she always thought carefully about things. Their conversation was interrupted by Captain Grant's announcement over the intercom, asking key personnel to assemble urgently. Ethan and Zara exchanged concerned glances, quickly moving to the meeting location. In the briefing room, Olivia Harris waited with Daniel, their faces serious. We've received troubling news, Olivia began solemnly. The Zoltar have regrouped sooner than expected. They're mobilizing a large fleet, targeting a key Federation outpost. The gathered soldiers listened carefully, their earlier joy from victory replaced by a new determination. This outpost is critical, Daniel added clearly. Losing it will give the Zoltar a strategic advantage. We cannot let that happen. Ethan felt tension rising in the room, the seriousness of the situation evident on everyone's faces. Zara, standing beside him, remained calm, though her expression was tight with worry. "What's our next move?" Ethan asked decisively. Olivia glanced at Daniel before answering. "We will launch a preemptive strike. Hit them before they're fully prepared." The soldiers nodded firmly, understanding the stakes. "We'll need speed, stealth, and precision," Daniel instructed, his voice calm but commanding. "Federation technology will mask our approach, but human tactics will ensure our strike is effective." The room filled with determined nods and murmurs of agreement. "Ethan," Daniel addressed him directly, "you and Zara will lead the infiltration unit again." "Understood, Captain," Ethan replied confidently. "We won't let you down," Zara added firmly, her voice steady. Preparations began immediately. Ethan and Zara quickly assembled their team, briefing them thoroughly on their objectives and the importance of the mission. Later, as Ethan double-checked their equipment, Zara approached them quietly. "Are you nervous?" she asked, her voice gentle. "Always," Ethan admitted honestly, a slight smile appearing. "But that's a good thing. It keeps me alert." Zara considered this thoughtfully, then nodded with a newfound understanding. "I've begun to see the value in your human approach, facing fear directly rather than avoiding it." "Good," Ethan encouraged warmly. "Then let's face this together." The combined Federation and human fleet moved silently through space, cloaked and unseen by enemy sensors. Daniel and Olivia watched carefully from their command positions, quietly confident in the careful planning and training they'd undergone. Ethan, Zara, and their team boarded their infiltration ship, quickly moving toward the target. They passed enemy patrols silently, the advanced Federation cloaking technology hiding them perfectly. The targeted enemy ship loomed ahead, larger and more imposing than any they'd seen before. Ethan felt his nerves rise, but steadied himself with a deep breath. "Steady now," he whispered to Zara. "Always," she replied, her voice surprisingly calm and steady. They maneuvered skillfully, landing gently on the enemy vessel's hull. Ethan and Zara led the team swiftly and silently, slipping inside unnoticed Dot as they moved through dim corridors, tension heightened. They reached the control room quietly, quickly setting up their devices to disrupt enemy communications and systems. "Ready?" Ethan asked softly, looking into Zara's determined eyes. She nodded sharply. "Ready." Ethan activated the devices, instantly causing chaos aboard the enemy ship. Confused enemy soldiers rushed frantically through corridors, unable to communicate. Infiltration team withdrew smoothly, returning safely to their ship. Ethan and Zara exchanged relieved smiles as they sped away from the enemy ship, watching as Federation and human forces began their assault. Their combined strategy once again proved successful, catching the enemy off guard and pushing back the threat. Together, they had turned fear into action and action into victory. Commander Olivia Harris felt her spirits lift as she watched the enemy command ship explode brilliantly on the screen. The Zoltar fleet's movements instantly became chaotic and disorganized, allowing Federation forces to regain momentum. "Captain Grant," Olivia spoke through the communication system, gratitude evident in her voice. "Your strike team did it. The enemy command vessel is down." "Acknowledged, Commander Harris," Captain Daniel Grant replied firmly, maintaining calm authority. "Even amid victory, now's the time to press our advantage." Olivia nodded sharply, her determination renewed. All Federation units followed the humans' lead. Engage with full force. The combined fleet surged forward, human ships leading the way, agile and swift. Zoltar formations struggled to reorganize without their command ship guiding them. The Federation ships, now inspired by their human allies, attacked with precision and courage. Meanwhile, aboard Ethan Clarke's ship, Zara treated injured crew members. Her skilled hands moved quickly, calm and assured even amid turbulence. Ethan admired her composure under pressure. You're impressive under stress, Ethan remarked sincerely. Guiding the ship deftly through enemy fire, Zara smiled slightly, her expression softening briefly. You humans taught me something valuable today. Courage isn't about not feeling fear, it's about acting despite it. Ethan chuckled lightly. That's humanity in a nutshell. Their brief exchange was interrupted by Captain Grant's voice over the comms. Strike team, good job. Return to the flagship for recovery. You've earned your rest. Acknowledge, Ethan responded, relief evident in his voice. The Federation flagship, a massive vessel now bustling with activity, welcomed them back. Ethan guided his ship smoothly into the docking bay, landing gently as the doors opened. Medical teams rushed forward, aiding injured crew members. Ethan and Zara stepped off together, tired but satisfied. Captain Grant approached them personally, his steady presence immediately comforting. Excellent work, both of you, Daniel said warmly. Your mission changed the course of the battle. Thank you, Captain, Ethan replied respectfully. We were lucky, too. Luck favors those who take risks, Daniel said knowingly, nodding to Zara, and those willing to trust each other. Zara glanced at Ethan, her gaze grateful and respectful. Trust was easier than I thought. Ethan smiled back warmly. Trust builds fast in battle. Elsewhere on the bridge, Olivia Harris coordinated ongoing attacks. Federation morale had drastically improved, energized by their newfound human allies. Commander, Lieutenant Kyle Morgan reported enthusiastically, enemy lines are crumbling. Zoltar forces are retreating. Excellent, Olivia responded firmly. Continue pressing forward. We can't give them time to regroup. Yes, Commander, Kyle answered immediately, returning to his station. Hours passed as Federation and human forces continued their pursuit, steadily pushing back the once overwhelming enemy fleet. Olivia moved around the bridge tirelessly, issuing orders, rallying her crew, and keeping their spirits high. At last, the exhausted Zoltar fleet began a full retreat, leaving the battlefield in disarray. Federation crew members erupted in cheers, celebrating their hard-earned victory. Captain Grant appeared again on the communication screen, a slight, satisfied smile on his usually composed face. Congratulations, Commander Harris. This battle belongs to all of us. Indeed, Olivia agreed warmly, and especially to humanity. Your unconventional strategy saved us. Daniel nodded respectfully. The Federation was brave to trust us. Cooperation between our people can accomplish even more. Agreed, Olivia replied earnestly. Together, we make a formidable alliance. As celebrations continued, Ethan and Zara quietly observed from a corner of the flagship. Zara looked thoughtful, eyes gazing into the vastness of space. Before this, Zara admitted softly, I never imagined humans as capable allies. Ethan leaned against a railing, relaxed yet attentive. And now? She smiled, a newfound respect brightening her face. I can't imagine succeeding without you, Ethan grinned warmly. Then our mission achieved more than tactical victory. They both laughed lightly, the tension of battle finally easing away. Ethan realized then that victory was more than just defeating an enemy. It was also building lasting bonds between allies. Meanwhile, Daniel and Olivia met face-to-face on the flagship bridge, discussing next steps and future strategies. Their conversation was calm yet filled with hope. Humans have proven invaluable, Olivia stated firmly. Will Earth remain committed? Absolutely, Daniel responded confidently. Our people understand now we are stronger together. Good, Olivia said thoughtfully, looking at the tactical maps once more. Because this war isn't over yet. Daniel nodded in agreement, a determined look on his face. Then it's good we're allies. As the Federation and human ships began regrouping for repairs and rest, a sense of unity filled the vastness of space. For Olivia, Daniel, Ethan, Zara, and all those who fought bravely, the day's victory was proof that together they could overcome even the greatest challenges ahead. Lieutenant Ethan Clark felt his heart race as his ship soared forward, leading the strike team toward the enemy's massive command vessel. Behind him, the agile human ships maneuvered swiftly, dodging enemy fire with remarkable precision. "All units maintain tight formations," Ethan commanded steadily. His voice sounded calm, even though his pulse quickened with every maneuver. Ethan knew they were facing overwhelming odds, but their plan depended on speed and surprise. Zara sat next to him, her alien features tense yet determined. She carefully monitored the ship's support systems, ready to react instantly if needed. "Enemy patrols approaching," Zara reported, eyes scanning her screens nervously. "3 ships at 2 o'clock. "Understood," Ethan replied instantly. Strike group split into evasive patterns. "Let's confuse them." Instantly, human ships scattered gracefully, spiraling through space. The enemy vessels hesitated, briefly confused. Then they began firing wildly, struggling to track the unpredictable humans. Ethan twisted the controls sharply, sending his craft spinning elegantly past enemy shots. Zara gasped but quickly regained her composure. "You're good at this," Zara admitted, gripping her console tightly. Ethan managed a small, confident smile. Practice and instinct. That's what humans rely on. Their craft zipped past enemy ships, avoiding damage narrowly. Ethan could feel his hands shaking slightly, adrenaline fueling his senses. The Federation fleet behind them began engaging the distracted enemy ships, providing essential cover. "Command vessel in sight," Zara announced urgently. Ethan's eyes locked onto the massive Zoltar ship, looming menacingly ahead. Its size was staggering, covered with powerful weapon systems and heavy armor. "All units, move to infiltration positions," Ethan ordered firmly. "Approach with caution." The team swiftly closed the gap, their movements precise and coordinated. As they approached the command ship, Zara quickly guided Ethan through a narrow, blind spot in enemy defenses. "Docking bay ahead," Zara advised. "Minimal guards according to our intel." "Let's hope our intel is accurate," Ethan muttered under his breath, maneuvering his ship carefully. The docking bay doors loomed ahead, guarded by automated sentries. "Activate cloaking measures now," Ethan instructed calmly. Immediately, human ships shimmered and vanished from enemy sensors, slipping past the automated defenses unnoticed. Ethan landed smoothly, quickly powering down the engines. The docking bay felt eerie and silent, an unsettling calm before potential chaos. Ethan stood, gathering his gear, heart pounding. Zara rose beside him, calm yet alert. "Ready?" Ethan asked softly. Zara nodded, her eyes determined. "Yes." They exited swiftly, joined by other team members emerging from their own craft. Everyone moved quietly, weapons ready, senses alert. Ethan led them deeper into the enemy vessel, the corridors dimly lit and strangely quiet. "Too quiet, Ethan," whispered to Zara. "Agreed," she replied nervously, gripping her weapon tighter. Suddenly, alarms blared loudly. Red lights flashed along the corridor walls. "We've been detected," shouted a voice behind Ethan. "Stay calm," Ethan ordered quickly. "Stick to the plan. Move fast." They ran forward, following Ethan through winding corridors. Enemy guards appeared, firing weapons. Ethan returned fire decisively, clearing the way forward. Zara stayed close, her movements fluid and determined. "Control room ahead!" Zara shouted urgently, pointing toward heavily secured doors. "Cover me," Ethan commanded, approaching the access panel swiftly. Zara and the others formed a protective circle, defending Ethan fiercely as he hacked into the security systems. Seconds felt like hours as his fingers moved expertly, overriding lock codes. "Hurry, Ethan!" Zara yelled, urgency filling her voice. "Almost there," Ethan responded tensely. "Just a little longer." Enemy fire intensified. Human soldiers fought bravely, sustaining minor injuries but maintaining their protective formation. Finally, the doors slid open. "Inside now," Ethan shouted. They rushed into the control room, sealing the doors behind them quickly. The room was filled with complex equipment and flashing screens. Ethan moved quickly to the main control station, initiating their sabotage sequence. Zara assisted, working seamlessly beside him. "Set charges," Ethan instructed, hands flying over the controls. "We need this entire vessel disabled." Explosives were placed strategically, team members moving efficiently under intense pressure. Ethan kept his focus, fingers moving swiftly. The enemy pounded the sealed doors relentlessly. "Charges ready," Zara confirmed urgently. "Initiate evacuation," Ethan ordered. "We move out immediately." The team raced back toward their ships, explosions shaking the vessel violently. Zara stayed close to Ethan, determination shining in her eyes. "We did it," Zara said breathlessly, relief evident in her voice. "Almost," Ethan replied cautiously. "We still need to get out." As they boarded their ships, alarms blaring and chaos erupting around them, Ethan knew this was only the first step. But it was crucial, a small yet powerful strike against an enemy that had seemed unbeatable. The human fleet pulled away swiftly, explosions illuminating space behind them, signaling a successful mission and, perhaps, the beginning of victory. Captain Daniel Grant stood calmly on the bridge of his ship, observing the tactical displays carefully. Around him, the crew moved swiftly, each person focused on their tasks, their training evident in every precise motion. The Federation ships, still battered and bruised, regrouped behind the human fleet, cautious yet hopeful. "All ships, report status," Daniel ordered, his voice steady and clear. "All systems operational," replied Lieutenant Sophia Reed from her position at the communications station. "Our fleet is in good shape, Captain." Daniel nodded thoughtfully. He had been in difficult situations before, battles that seemed impossible to win, but this battle was different. Humanity was now fighting alongside an alien federation, something many back on Earth had believed might never happen. It was a chance for humans to prove themselves on a larger, more complex stage. "Prepare for a tactical briefing," Daniel instructed Sophia. "Bring Commander Harris online." "Right away, Captain," Sophia responded promptly, her fingers moving deftly across the controls. Moments later, Commander Olivia Harris appeared on the screen, looking composed yet understandably tense. "Captain Grant," Olivia greeted him, "your arrival was timely. I hope your team is prepared for what's next." "We're ready, Commander," Daniel reassured her. "But we'll need detailed intel on the enemy positions and tactics," Olivia quickly shared. Data files, maps, and analysis. Her calm efficiency impressed Daniel. Even though the situation was dire, the Federation commander's demeanor remained unshaken. "The Zoltar forces heavily outnumber us," Olivia explained carefully. "Their technology surpasses anything we've encountered before." Daniel scanned through the provided intel, noting weak points and potential opportunities. "They have technology," Daniel acknowledged, "but they rely heavily on their predictable formations and superior firepower. We need to break their patterns." Sophia listened intently, taking detailed notes. Her role would be crucial in coordinating the upcoming operations. "Captain," Sophia spoke up carefully, "we might want to use a decoy maneuver. Draw their fire while our strike team sneak through their defenses." Daniel smiled approvingly. "Exactly my thinking. We'll deploy rapid attack ships to distract them. While they focus on the obvious threat, we'll slip a smaller team through to target their command vessel." "A bold plan," Olivia admitted thoughtfully, "but risky. The Zoltar are disciplined and thorough." Daniel leaned slightly forward, conviction in his voice. "That's why they'll fall for it. They expect a straightforward confrontation. They won't anticipate unconventional tactics." Olivia studied Daniel silently for a moment. "Captain, your confidence is reassuring. My fleet will follow your lead." "Thank you, Commander," Daniel said respectfully. "Together, we'll surprise them." As the briefing ended, Daniel turned to Sophia. "Lieutenant Reed, assemble a strike team. We need our best pilots and infiltration specialists. Yes, Captain, Sophia responded immediately. She began rapidly selecting crew members known for their skill and bravery. Minutes later, Daniel stood before the assembled strike team. Among them were Lieutenant Ethan Clark, an experienced pilot known for his courage under fire, and Zara, an alien medic who had volunteered to support the human team. Her presence represented the growing trust between humans and their new allies. Our mission is clear, Daniel addressed the team calmly. Distract, infiltrate, and disable their command ship. Success will significantly weaken their fleet coordination. Ethan raised his hand. Captain, what if they discover our plan before we get there? Daniel answered confidently. They expect direct combat. They don't yet understand human adaptability. We rely on surprise and speed. The team exchanged glances, determination visible in their eyes. Zara stepped forward, clearly resolved. I've seen their cruelty firsthand, she said firmly. If humans can stop them, I will support you with everything I have. Daniel nodded appreciatively. Zara's bravery inspired the others, enhancing their resolve. Very well, Daniel concluded. Prepare your ships. We launch in 20 minutes. As the team dispersed, Daniel glanced back at the tactical displays. He knew the stakes were incredibly high. If they failed, Federation worlds would continue falling, countless lives lost. But success meant a significant turning point in the battle. Sophia approached him quietly, her voice soft yet confident. They trust you, Captain. Daniel smiled gently. They trust each other, Lieutenant. That unity will be our greatest weapon. As the strike team launched their vessels, Daniel felt pride swell within him. Humans had always found their strength, not only in technology, but in their capacity to adapt, innovate, and come together in the face of impossible odds. Today would test that strength once more, perhaps harder than ever before. He watched the sleek human ship speed forward, toward danger and uncertainty, carrying the hope of the Federation and perhaps a new era for humanity itself. The battle was going badly. Federation Commander Olivia Harris watched the screens in the central control room, her heart sinking with every report. Each bright flash on the monitors represented another Federation ship falling victim to the powerful weapons of the invading Zoltar Empire. The Zoltar had appeared suddenly, sweeping across Federation territory with frightening speed and efficiency. Olivia knew they had superior firepower and far more advanced technology than anyone had anticipated. Commander Harris, Lieutenant Kyle Morgan's voice broke through her troubled thoughts. We've lost another cruiser. Casualties are rising rapidly. Olivia nodded slowly, her eyes never leaving the screen. Continue evacuating civilian areas. Get everyone out you possibly can. Kyle looked worried, his young face tense with anxiety. We can't hold much longer. What are we going to do? Olivia inhaled sharply, feeling the weight of responsibility pressing heavily on her shoulders. The Federation had never faced such an overwhelming threat. Their advanced technology and strategic experience meant nothing against this brutal invasion. She had to consider options she'd never imagined before. Lieutenant, she finally said, determination returning to her voice. Contact Earth. We need humans. Kyle's eyes widened in surprise. Humans? Commander, they're unpredictable. Primitive. Even. Exactly, Olivia said firmly. And unpredictability might be exactly what we need. We've tried traditional warfare. We need something unconventional, something the enemy isn't prepared for. Reluctantly, Kyle nodded. I'll send the message. Immediately. Within minutes, the request for help raced through the communication channels, crossing the vast reaches of space toward Earth. Olivia waited, tense and uncertain. She had studied human history briefly in her academy days, chaotic and full of conflict. But within that chaos, humans had always shown an extraordinary ability to adapt and overcome. She hoped this resilience would be enough to turn the tide of battle. Hours later, the central communication panel beeped urgently. Olivia activated, and a confident, steady voice filled the room. Commander Harris, this is Captain Daniel Grant of Earth's Defense Fleet. We've received your message. Humans stand ready to assist. Olivia felt a rush of relief, mixed with lingering doubt. Captain Grant, thank you for responding, but I must warn you, the enemy is powerful. We've suffered great losses. We understand, Daniel replied calmly. Humans thrive under difficult conditions. We'll bring a strategy they won't expect. Those words stirred a cautious hope within Olivia. She knew it was a gamble. Humans had not yet proved themselves on a galactic scale. But desperate situations required desperate measures. Olivia had run out of conventional solutions. She needed something extraordinary, something daring and bold. As Federation ships continued to retreat, Olivia watched the tactical map anxiously, waiting for human forces to appear. Each passing minute felt like an eternity. She walked among her crew, offering encouragement, trying to hide her doubts. They needed confidence and hope, and she had to provide it. Finally, a new set of signals flashed on the screen. Olivia's heart leaped. "They're here," Kyle announced, relief clear in his voice. A cluster of smaller, distinctly designed ships surged forward from hyperspace. Human vessels were noticeably less advanced in technology, but moved in tight formations, swift and agile. Grant's voice came through clearly once more. "Commander Harris, leave the next move to us. We'll handle this from here." "Acknowledged, Captain Grant," Olivia replied, silently praying the humans would succeed. Federation crew watched in fascination and hope as the human ships broke formation, employing maneuvers the Federation commanders had never seen. Darting unpredictably, their smaller ships evaded enemy fire, confusing the Zoltar targeting systems. Their daring tactics began to disrupt the enemy's previously unbeatable strategy. Olivia felt something close to awe as she watched. This wasn't just battle, it was creative, fluid combat, something almost artistic in its daring and unpredictability. "It's working," Kyle breathed in amazement, eyes wide as he monitored the battle. Olivia nodded, barely believing her eyes. For the first time since the invasion began, the enemy advance slowed, and signs of confusion appeared among Zoltar ranks. It was far too soon to declare victory, but for now, the tide had at least paused, giving them the precious gift of time. Olivia Harris straightened her uniform, the burden of responsibility slightly lighter. She knew the fight was far from over, but now she had something she'd lacked for days: hope. "Lieutenant Morgan," she said, voice steady and confident, "let's coordinate closely with Captain Grant. We have a chance now. Let's not waste it." Kyle saluted sharply, a glint of determination in his eyes. "Yes, Commander." For the first time since the invasion, Olivia allowed herself a small, hopeful smile. With humans by their side, perhaps the Federation stood a chance.